Now, there's been widespread condemnation of the actions of Deputy President Paul Mashatile's protectors. And we continue on this discussion. We're joined by security expert Bradley Steyn. Bradley, good morning to you and thanks so much for your time. Just a very quick observation of the Deputy President, including the security detail. He's not new to this area of protocols. What do you think went wrong?
Firstly and foremostly, there's a lack of leadership within SAPS, as we've seen, and the fact that we have rogue elements like this, armed with fully automatic assault rifles, exiting their vehicles in a road rage incident. Let's call it what it is. Obviously, the investigation needs to be finished, but this is totally unacceptable. It's barbaric. It smells like apartheid era policing, and we fought very hard, to get this country the freedom that it deserved, and the fact that this is happening out on our streets, is this thuggish behavior is totally unacceptable, and it's not professional. I've been in this business for many years. I've traveled all around the world. I've worked with different international executive protection detailed teams, and on government level and in the private sector, and this is barbaric. It's very unprofessional and very unbecoming to the profession.
Yeah, when you say it's a lack of leadership that has brought us to this point, and we've had many callers saying that they've had a personal first-hand experience at the hands of the police being brutally assaulted or even accosted on the freeways. So if the leadership then is absent, or there's a vacuum of leadership, do you think then that these military trainees, as we understand them to be, will then take the law onto, into their own hands, as it were, or even be emboldened enough to transgress the law?
Well, to be honest with you, if these young men were traveling in a vehicle with myself, and armed men like this came and pulled the vehicle over and pulled these young, where I would draw my firearm and protect these people, the young people in my car. You can't carry on and behave like this. Firstly and foremostly, in an executive protection role, you are in support of providing a government service, and for them to be acting this way is totally unacceptable. So it's actually borderline barbaric, and something has to be done about this. The leadership void comes in the fact that Bradley Steyn is appointing people that aren't qualified, and these people are coming in, and their leadership shows that. They axed Jeremy Veery, who was who's probably one of the most highly qualified executive protection with executive protection backgrounds from the Western Cape police leadership, for instance. The problem is that across the board that there's poor leadership in SAPS. People aren't being protected, and this just shows it. Here police are attacking people. It's
sorry to interrupt you, but also what you're saying is that this also tarnishes the reputation of all those men and women, the fine, who are doing their work as to serve and protect the country. But unfortunately, more and more of these kind of incidences tarnishes even the little bit of respect, of confidence that the public has with the police service.
correct. And there's a lot. I have to point out that, I had a conversation with the same former head of detectives here in the Western Cape, and he said, thank God there is still hope, because there's a new generation of police candidates coming through the colleges, etc. But the biggest problem is that we have to get rid of this barbaric behavior and the lack of accountability in SAPS. Good thing is that these warrant officers, etc., have been now placed on suspension. But we have to look deeper at this issue. If we look deeper at this issue, then we have a national security risk in this country. If we go as far as having a look at what happened to President Ramaphosa in Poland, being left without his executive protection detail, that's a massive lapse in judgment and doing their job. It's a threat to national security. So the fact that there's so much violent crime across our country. My brother-in-law was murdered on our farm in 2018. There's a lot of issues that affect everyday South Africans that are leaving Langa, coming to work and getting robbed, that are affecting people in neighborhoods. We really need to take accountability for who we put in power in this country, because, at the end of the day, the buck stops with us, because we put those people in power. We vote to put these people in power. But the cracks are showing in our country.
I really do apologize. We're out of time. But thanks indeed for your insights. That's security expert Bradley Steyn just reacting to the VIP protection unit. And now the SAPS also saying that the members who are implicated has been suspended.